Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski and I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is Daily Analytical Report with Alpari. Yesterday we got nice movements on safe haven assets. Yen gaining strength, also gold spiked. It's because of tensions around North Korea, tensions around Syria. Obviously, everywhere Donald Trump is involved, but those movements are being corrected at the moment. On some of the instruments, they look sustainable. On some of the instruments, they look like false breakouts, like false movements, like for example on stocks. As for today, we do not have any significant news. All movements from yesterday were a bit exaggerated. Why is that? Because we do have a shorter week this week. Most stock exchanges are closed on Friday. That is why liquidity is usually lower at such weeks. And if you have lower liquidity, sometimes the volatility is much higher. Let me show you the calendar for today. What we had was CPI data from China, which came slightly worse than expected. We also got mixed data from Great Britain. Speech from Mark Carney, but pound is on the positive side of the market right now. And as for today, we are waiting for the data from Canada. We have interest rate decisions and a press conference. Definitely a very important event for traders on Canadian dollar. But apart from that, rest of the market is rather calm. Tomorrow, what we'll have tomorrow, actually overnight, we'll have data from Australia, from job market, from Australia, also trade balance from China. Those two will be influential on the market tomorrow. And as you can see, on Friday we do have CPI and retail sales data from United States, very important one, but only Forex market, only currencies will be affected as stocks. Stock exchanges will be closed that day. Also, from the fundamental point of view, what we had is a stronger oil based on speculations that this OPEC agreement will be extended. Will be extended for the second half of the year and maybe probably 2018. Most of the countries committed to that cut in the oil production. Obviously, we know that, for example, Brazil, which is not an OPEC member, or United States, they increased oil production using that higher prices. So we should see that, and we should see that actually soon. This increased production from non-OPEC countries should affect the prices, and the prices should go lower, because now prices of oil, they go higher, they are going higher, but it's based on pure speculation that we will have this agreement extended. It's so far it's a pure speculation, so we cannot say that that agreement will or won't be extended, because so far we don't know, but we do have speculations that this agreement will be extended. Okay, now let's look at the charts right now. This is euro dollar H4 chart. Yesterday we were here and we said that most probably this correction will go on, and this correction is going on. What do we have here is maybe I will use this line, and what we do have here is a short-term flag. Okay, this is a flag, resistance here, support here, maybe a wedge, but it's not really important, because in a downtrend, when you have a wedge and a flag, what means is a lower line of this formation. So it's a trend continuation pattern in a downtrend, so we should expect a breakout of the lower line of this formation, and ahead we do have a lower line of the longer of the bigger flag. So in my opinion, this support will be under pressure anytime soon. We should see the price 30 pips lower. It can happen even today or tomorrow. It does not really matter. What matters is that the price is in a trend continuation pattern, and trend here is right. So that's the situation on euro dollar. We are also below important horizontal resistance here on 1.0615. As long as we stay below this level and below the next one, the sentiment is negative. Australian dollar to American dollar also stays below an important resistance. I was thinking that this can be a false breakout. The price was advancing higher yesterday, but they finally bounced from this level. So actually what we're having here is a breakout of the important support, and this support was used as a resistance. It looks legitimate. According to the price action, it looks promising. It looks like the price will continue to go down. But something's wrong, in my opinion. Something's wrong. I'm not fully committed to this situation. I'm not fully committed to this setup. In my opinion, the price can still go up, can still go higher. It does not look for me as a legitimate situation, and in my opinion, the price can go up, especially that the price here can be supported with the higher price of gold. And gold in Australian dollar to American dollar is very correlated. Those two instruments are very correlated. This correlation broke recently. So those instruments recently are not so correlated as they should be. Actually, I can show you. I can show you this correlation, but you have to bear with me for a second. I'll try to find it as fast as possible. Okay. This is very, very interesting. Look at that. This is gold is a blue chart, and pink chart is Australian dollar to American dollar. And what do we have here is a high correlation between those two. And finally, gold goes up, Australian dollar to American dollar goes down. Right, so the correlation is broken. Most probably it will come back to the situation seen in the previous months. But as you can see, it's an interesting situation here, that this correlation, which was here with us for a long time, is broken. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar. That's an interesting one. I was telling about that for a long time, and we finally have a nice bounce from this support. We are higher than yesterday. We are higher than than yesterday, not than 2 years ago, but then situation on Friday. And that's kind of a triple bottom formation. We broke the upper line of this correction pattern. We defended the neckline, so here everything is positive, everything looks positive, and the price should go up. American dollar to Swiss franc. Here also our view was bullish, but after the breakout of this upper line of the flag, So far we don't have a breakout, but we do have a flat correction below this resistance. As you can see, most of the spikes here, most of the bounces were very rapid and volatile, and here we do have a contact and then a flat correction, which shows us that maybe we will have a second try here, that the traders, the buyers will try to break this resistance one more time. So we won't have a deeper bearish correction, but maybe we'll break the upper line of this formation and the price will continue to go up from this point. American dollar to Polish zloty. Here we have a beautiful bounce from this uptrend line, and the price has a third bullish week in a row. Situation is very positive. Also, we are trying to break the upper line of this flag formation, flag in an uptrend. So it's a trend continuation pattern. It's always a trend continuation pattern, but flag in an uptrend tells us that most probably we'll have a bullish breakout of this flag and an upswing. So the situation on American dollar to Polish zloty is positive. British pound to Canadian dollar. Well, Canadian dollar was gaining strength in the last 2 weeks because of the higher prices of oil, right? We all know that Canadian dollar is a commodity currency and is influenced by the price of the oil. But British pound is also relatively strong, so this decline here on this chart is not so strong as on the other charts. Here we can see that the price stays relatively high, even this week, because it's a weekly chart. The week that we're having now is kind of a positive one. This can be considered as a trend continuation pattern here. We're still defending this horizontal support here. That's a kind of a wedge. As long as we stay inside of the wedge, exactly in the middle of the wedge, it's hard to tell in the short term. But in the mid-term, longer term, what we should expect here is the price heading higher, breaking the upper line of the wedge, of this wedge, and heading higher. Okay, that's the situation on British pound to Canadian dollar, where at the beginning of the year we spotted this beautiful bullish engulfing, and so far the price is higher, so this signal works. Well, this price is higher and it wasn't lower, so it's double profit. And this gold met the horizontal resistance here, made a false breakout, but then defended on the lower line of the channel up formation here. That's a strong support. They bounced from the channel up formation, they went higher. Yesterday upswing broke this horizontal resistance. That's no longer a false breakout, and that's no longer an important support here because the price is breaking it all the time. And we met dynamic resistance. What is that resistance? Well, wait no more. It's a very important line connecting recent lower highs. High from July 2017, August 2016, August, September, October not, but November 2016. The next important one will be here, obviously if we'll break it. So far, first contact with this resistance brings us shooting star candlestick on a daily chart, right? But as you can see, they will try for the second time, and maybe we'll have a bullish breakout here. So the price of the oil is heading higher. We are not surprised about that. We are on a yearly highs. That's what we are telling you about from the very beginning. We even wrote that in our newsletter special yearly newsletter about the gold, that we are bullish in gold. And so far so good, right? It's one of the best performing assets in 2017. As you can see, we started here and we are here. Gold for the win, we would like to say. Okay, but jokes aside, what we should expect? Well, I don't think they will break this resistance straight away. I don't think we will be able to come back to over $1,300 per ounce just like that. I think it will take some time. So we have a time, right? We do have a time. Stocks are going higher, gold is going higher. Again, let me remind you what are my thoughts about that. That smart money, smart guys, big fish from Wall Street, they are escaping from stocks, closing their positions and moving their money into gold because they are expecting a deeper correction in 2017-18. Why stocks are heading higher? Because now the retail trader street is buying, because it's always how it is at the end of the uptrend. Only street is buying, not smart money. And what will happen is we will have a deeper correction or maybe recession on stocks. Price will decline sharply. Price on the gold will go up sharply. But smart guys already bought gold here, and retail traders will buy gold here, and then we'll have another movement. So gold will go down and stocks will go higher. That's my scenario. That's what happens over years and years and years. Euro to Japanese yen. That's a continuation of this positive sentiment for safe haven assets, because Japanese yen is a safe haven asset. What we do have here is a downtrend and a flag. Flag is a trend continuation pattern, so we should see the price going. Lower. That's what we got. But interesting situation emerged. Well, was created on H1 on smaller time frames, because what we got here, maybe let me change the color that it differs from the support above. What we got here was a symmetric triangle formation, right? Not symmetric, but descending triangle formation. So horizontal support and smaller bounces. That's the beauty of price action. Here 140 pips bounce, here 100 pips bounce, here was a bounce for 60 pips, and finally we got a breakout. After that, broken support becomes resistance. That's the principle of price action trading. The price made new low, then retraced, tested recent horizontal support as a resistance, and that breakout was confirmed, and the price declined 140 pips lower. Right? That's amazing, and that's a sell signal. That's a legitimate sell signal. Maybe now we'll have a smaller correction, aiming the upper line here, this dynamic resistance. Here, maybe not. What is important is that we do have a long-term downtrend here, long-term sell signal. It depends where do you like to sell, what kind of trader you are. If you're like in a downtrend, if you want to sell the weakness, so a bearish breakout here, or you want to sell the strength, so a bullish correction here. It depends what kind of trader you are. I would prefer to wait for a comeback here, because those levels, obviously the price should go even lower, but those levels are too low for me. I would love to wait for a correction, and then I would try my luck with selling. British pound to American dollar on a daily chart. This breakout does not look promising because it creates a shooting star formation, but okay, it's we haven't finished this day yet. So on a daily chart, symmetric triangle, breakout, symmetric triangle, right? And I was telling you many times that the fact that we are very close to this resistance and we are not bouncing, this is a positive sign for buyers that they will try to break the upper line of the symmetric triangle, okay? What we got is wedge formation. Wedge formation is a trend continuation pattern. Smaller trend is an uptrend, and then yesterday we got a breakout of the upper line of this wedge. Today we got a kind of mixed data, so that's what actually happened, upswing, downswing, and we are exactly in the middle of those swings. Daily change for today is 30 pips, which for cable is very low amount of pips, but hey, again, on Friday we start Easter. On Friday many stock exchanges are closed, so you shouldn't look for volatility. Sometimes you should not look for volatility, but sometimes, as we said, lower liquidity because of the holidays implicate higher volatility when we have movements like in gold, right? They look exaggerated because of the fact that the liquidity is lower. But anyway, this breakout of the upper line here of this wedge formation is a positive sign, and from this point the price should advance higher. Euro to Australian dollar, here there was no strong signal, but I was telling you yesterday that the fact that the price is inside of this pennant formation below a horizontal resistance indicates that most probably will have an upswing, and the upswing happened. It got retraced, it looked like a false breakout, but the price is pushing higher again, so maybe this breakout will be sustainable. Euro to British pound, here also you can see the signs of a stronger pound, because we are on the lowest level still since the end of February, so we are on the lowest levels in 2 months, in April and March, and we are approaching a very important support, which is the lower line of the symmetric triangle formation. So as you can see on British pound to American dollar, we are approaching the upper line of the symmetric triangle formation, and on Euro to British pound we are approaching the lower line of the symmetric triangle formation. What I would like to also show you here is a trend line. So what we are having here is an ultimate support for this pair. Right? We can expect that there will be a bounce here, because it's a combination of lower line of the symmetric triangle and up trend line. Here, if you will have a bullish candlestick formation or price pattern, that will be a very interesting buying opportunity. New Zealand dollar to American dollar is a continuation of this flag formation. Flag formation is slowly heading to the horizontal support and a dynamic support created by this line and this line. So here also we are about to approach a very important support. If we will see a bearish breakout, that will be strong sell signal, but on the other hand, if we will see a bounce here and most probably breakout of the upper line of this channel down formation, that will be a strong buy signal. So here patient traders should wait, and that's what patient traders do. They wait for a confirmation, they wait for a nice trading signal. Here no signal for me. I would wait for this situation to develop. Okay, now oil and 2 indexes. Let's start with oil. As you can see, oil is having a beautiful streak here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish days in a row, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bullish days, 2 bearish. Right, it's a very good series here, and we are about to break an important horizontal resistance, which is created by connecting those recent lower highs. Actually, it looks like this resistance was broken. So now it's time for the next one, for this one. But sentiment is very positive. We haven't seen a deeper correction for a while. I think we should first, before attacking this resistance, we should see a correction. But that's from the technical side. When the oil market is driven now by speculations and by verbal interventions, technical analysis steps aside, at least for a while, right? But what would be nice here from the technical point of view would be a deeper correction, because price from $47 to $54 rose almost without any stop whatsoever. So only those two, but they were very fast. So in my opinion, we should see a bit of correction here. American dollar to, well, not American dollar, but S&P 500, the party goes on. Again, as you can see, drop yesterday, which was used for buyers. So that's what traders in the United States do. They buy every dip. They make all the time V-shape retracement. V-shape, 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 V-shape. Are we about to make a fifth one? Well, the consensus here is a bullish breakout of this upper line of the wedge formation and a trend continuation. That's the base scenario for S&P 500. And on DAX, very interesting situation, because we reached the lower line of the channel up formation. So it happened what was expected by us, but similar to United States, it was used for a spike. So we got an instant bounce, V-shaped retracement, but this head and shoulder formation worked. Actually, we saw a decline. This upper line of the channel up formation, this blue one, worked as well. This breakout of this neckline worked as well. So we got a nice downswing. Now what we're having here is a kind of a flag. Well, it's more a wedge, but it's not really important, is it? Wedge. So an upswing, wedge, and we should have an upswing again. Lower line of the channel up formation was defended, and that creates a positive sentiment in this market. Once this lower line of the channel up formation will be broken, that will create a sell signal, but so far it doesn't look like that. Let's come back to the currencies. So euro dollar, and that's a sell environment here as well, but it's strange. Here bullish Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, that's a good one. American dollar to Polish zloty, that's a good one for buyers. Gold, possibility of a short-term bearish correction, but long-term long. Euro to Japanese yen, possibility of a short-term bullish correction, but long-term long. British pound to American dollar, long. Euro to Australian dollar, rather long. Euro to British pound, ahead of very close to the important horizontal and dynamic support. So we should wait for the price action to show us the direction. New Zealand dollar to American dollar also approaching a very important support, and we are waiting for a signal, either for a breakout or a reversal. That's what price action traders do. They wait for a nice trading occasion, they wait for the nice trading opportunity. Guys, that was it. That was our scan on the market. Thanks very much for watching. Now we'll have a short break, and after that a webinar about fundamental analysis. Please, when investing, remember that trading and investment in financial markets involves an element of risk. Do not forget about that. And also, for more trading occasions, situations, please do follow us on our Twitter account and our website alpari.news. Thanks very much and goodbye.